going on, Jerome's. So first off, I have to say that I was a fan of quarterback Justin Fields at the Ohio State University, and then he ended up with the crooked Chicago Bears, and feels bad, man. Feels bad because I think that he was plopped down in a horrible situation. Chicago is a place where quarterbacks go to die, and it's just not good. Just not good, man. But he's shown some flashes. He's put up some major highlights. He had one of the more insane rushing seasons for a quarterback in NFL history last year, and I think that he is developing. And yes, even as a Vikings fan, and by the way, this is not bitterness over the 2021 draft, because if Spielman and the Vikings wanted to trade up for Justin Fields, they could have gone up and got him, right? But they decided not to. The calls that they were making, especially to Carolina, were about J.C. Horn in all likelihood. So whatever. So yeah, all the Bears fans are like, you're just shut up. Silencio, por favor. That's right. So yeah, but Justin Fields, he really is a Rorschach test. Like, you don't know if he's good. You don't know if he's bad. And heading into year 3, I think we're going to get a lot of answers. But I don't know, man. It just I don't trust Matt Eberflus. I do not trust Ryan Poles. And even though Ryan Poles said that they're going to take the North and never give it back, how'd last year work out? All that stuff. But yeah, with Fields, like, Fields is having himself an offseason, man, because for a member of Gen Z, he really is writing a lot of checks with his mouth that I don't know if his ass can cash in the fall. But he said this. It's from Dov Kleeman. Update. Bears quarterback Justin Fields says he's guaranteeing that he'll be the first quarterback in team history to throw for over 4,000 yards in a single season, per All Things Covered pod. This came up because the third team did up these lists of 4,000-yard passers or blah, blah, blah. Various different stats for every team, and the Bears didn't have a 4,000-yard passer, which is kind of amazing. But he continued, I plan on doing it this year too. Fields passed for 2,442 yards in 15 games last season. The Bears did add a ton of weapons around him this year, so every chance to make the jump and fulfill his guarantee. Now, that is a large jump, and his over-under for passing yards this year is like 2,800. So I got the under. I got the under right now. And also, he said this. Justin Fields, I'm already a top 5 rushing quarterback in NFL history, which, I don't know, man. You're 2 years in, and you're already saying you're top 5 in something? Come on. If there's one thing Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields can do, is run the football. In fact, their soon-to-be third-year signal caller thinks he's already among the elite rushing quarterbacks in NFL history. Fields included himself among the top 5 rushing quarterbacks in league history in an interview with CBS Sports on Monday. Michael Vick, Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, Steve Young were the other 4 quarterbacks in Fields' top 5, but he listed them in no particular order. And, I mean, that's great. I mean, that's awesome, but historically, rushing quarterbacks haven't got it done in the Super Bowl. Steve Young won one as the starter. Not talk about him backing up Montana, about him being the starter back when they beat the piss out of the Chargers. But other than that, I mean, who's hoisted that Jerome Barty as a rushing quarterback? So, I again, it's one of those cool things like, hey, you can do like close-up sleight-of-hand magic. Awesome. Cool. How does that translate into money or food? Unless you're David Copperfield. I don't know, man. And Cowherd was on one where I don't know if it's just me getting older, but when I was younger, I thought that Cowherd's takes were horrible and just all over the place. But as I've gotten older, I've started to realize that Colin is right more than he is wrong. Like he said, when the Vikings weren't going to like double their win total last year. But Colin Cowherd on Justin Fields. Colin Cowherd. Right now, Justin Fields is a bust. He's 5-20, 10-game QB wins, 10-game losing streak, passer rating in the 70s. Right now, he's a YouTube quarterback. His highlights are great, which, I mean, it's kind of fair, where Justin Fields does have a career 5-20 record as a starting quarterback. Now, QB wins is not a stat, but it is an indicator, and his quarterback rating is in the 70s, and his career completion percentage is below 60, but he does have these amazing runs, and it's what you saw last year. Is like Justin Fields would have these amazing highlight runs on Twitter or Fox Game Breaks, like, oh, Justin Fields running, and then the Bears lose by 14. That was the blueprint last year. It's like, what are you supposed to do in this spot? And I know with Fields, he always gets compared to Trevor Lawrence. They've been compared to each other going back to high school. And with Trevor Lawrence on the cusp of being a superstar, I mean, you got to wonder what's in store for Fields. Now, the rest of the 2021 quarterback class, Zach Wilson, not so much. Trey Lance, not so much. Mac Jones, TBD, but I'm going to bank on not so much. So right now, Fields is probably QB2 in this class, running behind Trevor Lawrence, which happened a lot in high school as well as in college. But I do think that the Bears, they invested in the offensive line. They got him some weapons. DJ Moore will be an asset. Darnell Mooney is ready to step up. Claypool is going to be whatever at this point. But I do think that they do have tools around him for him to be set up for success. Now, do I think that he's magically going to have a 4,000-yard passing season? No. Do I think that his legs are still going to be the best part of his game as of right now? Yes. But I guess we'll see. It's too early to say whether boom or a bust. I'm not necessarily down with the Cowherd take, but if the Bears have another season where Fields is all over the highlight reels and puts up 1,000-yard rushing, but has a below 60% completion percentage and a quarterback rating in the 70s, and the Bears end up going 4-13 or whatever, it's time to ask some questions. Time to ask a lot of questions. And remember, next offseason is when the Bears have to decide if they're going to pick up his fifth-year option. Basically, it's an S or get off the pot situation for them. So I guess we'll see. As of right now, I think that he's in a spot where the Bears can succeed around him. Do I think that they're going to win the division? No. I don't think that they're going to be a threat for a number of years, if that, but I guess we'll see, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Justin Fields, boom or bust, ? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, Production Value.